Hello, everybody. This
Hi.
is Andrea.
And this is Nannette.
She's one of those places. And how are you doing today, Nettie?
I'm good.
Today's Friday, May 22nd, 2020. And this weekend is Memorial Day. Monday will be Memorial Day, so it's usually a 3-day weekend in the U.S. And Memorial Day is an American holiday. Okay, I'm reading this from history.com. An American holiday observed on the last Monday of May, honoring the men and women who died while serving in the U.S. military. Originally known as Decoration Day, it originated in the years following the Civil War. And it became an official federal holiday in 1971.
Well, you know what? I have something to say about that because I see people have arguments. I don't really get on Facebook anymore, but people used to have arguments every year about this. The Memorial Day is just about the people who have died serving their country. But if you look elsewhere, it's stated differently. And the thing about it for me is, because I did serve my country, and no, I didn't die. And I know lots of people who went off to war and didn't die, but did they not sacrifice? Well, if only their innocence, I mean, think about what they saw and what they did and what you do when you put your hand up, you know.
Well, there's a couple things. Oh, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
There's a couple things I wanted to say about that. So, first of all, May is also the month that VE Day occurs in, Victory in Europe. And that's when we remember the people who fought during World War II, specifically in the European theater. Is that what they called it? And it's the reason it started in America as Decoration Day is because that was the first time they had to have large cemeteries for people who had died in a military conflict, was during the Civil War. And people would celebrate, they would go decorate the tombstones, and then they'd have parades that were largely consisted of military personnel. So the military personnel would march, play drums and stuff like this. And this is still done today to honor those people. So it's kind of, I don't know how to explain that anymore. I mean, we do have Armed Forces Day, which I think already happened this month. It's another thing that happens in May, right? And then there's something else that Veterans Day happens in.
I'm not saying that it, you know, that I'm right or that, because I've looked it up and you can find it either way. I'm not saying anything should be taken away, but if you put it that way, if you tell me the history of it, now I understand the history of it. However, you can't tell people how to look at the day just because that's how it's, you know what I mean?
No, up north, most people look at the day as the day that have a barbecue. And in the north, it's usually when swimming pools open and the beach is open. Now, this is not true in the South. These things are open way before Memorial Day in the South. But like up north, in the Northeast area, like where I live and where my sister's from, summer and the beach and swimming is from Memorial Day to Labor Day. So it's like, this is the beginning of summer. This is the end of summer.
And a lot of people do see it as a day to barbecue, which, you know, to each their own. You can't go tell people how to see things. You just can't, you know. But yeah, okay.
Well, that brings me to my question. What are you doing for Memorial Day this year?
Are you seriously asking me that? This is one of my biggest pet peeves, and you are guilty of this. Those friends that call me and say, "What's new?" And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to start making stories. I just got back from a tropical island with this tall, dark, and handsome guy, and he was rubbing me down I mean, come on. What do you think?
I know. Who calls me every day and says, "What's up? What's different?" I'm like, it's the same thing as yesterday.
Well, I don't really know how to barbecue, so I'm not doing that. And I'm not involved in, in this area, there's lots of groups that will go out on Monday and they'll decorate the graves, because we do have a veteran cemetery in Killeen. There's motorcycle groups, there's just other types of groups, veteran groups, and they will go and they'll do that. And but I'm not going to really be doing anything. So I mean, it's another day.
Are you going to hang your flag up, or you already got it hanging?
I don't have a flag.
What?
Oh my God, I don't have a flag.
We like had to own a flag when we lived on base. Like, there were days that you had to have the flag up, and people would come around and make sure everybody had their flag up. If you've never been in the military, you don't know what it's like. I wasn't in the military. I was a wife.
Yes, you were.
But it's almost, I mean, I didn't do the work, but you're still living under weird rules. And stuff.
Yeah, families are part of the military, because if you don't follow the rules, I mean, you have to follow the rules.
If you don't follow the rules, your spouse is in trouble.
Which gets you in trouble, because they're not going to talk to you forever. But, you know, I was on base yesterday, and on post. It's post for the Army. And I noticed I had to go to the commissary for something. Yeah. And I noticed everybody in the commissary had a mask on. And this is not true outside of there. You know what I mean? So you see the difference. There are rules, you know.
Did you wear a mask?
Yeah, I wore a mask. But even if you're civilian on post, even if you're, you know, working for the Department of the Army and you're not even military affiliated, when you're on post, you follow those rules. You're part of that military.
Oh yeah, it's different rules. It's its own. They have their own laws. Some better and some worse.
That's true. That's true.
I don't want to go into details.
No.
But yeah, some better, some worse. But yeah, so I'm used to having a flag, because I'm supposed to have a flag, and I have a flag and I want to put it up, but it's starting to get a little frayed on the edge. So I don't know if I'm going to repair it or buy a new one. But I always buy the one from the U.S. Flag Company, which is in the U.S., and I always buy the stitched ones. I don't buy the printed ones. You can get whatever you want, okay? I'm just very particular about fabric and stitching and stuff. Nettie knows how I am. But I'm probably going to hang that up, and then I think I'm going to make deviled eggs, because the kids love deviled eggs, and it's a good summery.
You're making me jealous.
Well, deviled eggs, that's what I always tell people when they go to a potluck and they say they don't have a lot of money. Make deviled eggs. Everybody loves deviled eggs, and they're cheap. Well, they're usually cheap. I mean, eggs are costing more nowadays, but they will be the first thing eaten up, and people will love it. They'll be like, oh, so-and-so is always bringing the deviled eggs.
Yeah, you're like the favorite person.
You'll be the favorite person, and you brought the cheapest thing. Somebody spent like 8 hours making a fancy cake. Everybody's going to be talking about your deviled eggs. So.
It's so true.
It is so true.
Oh, God.
Americans love the deviled eggs. Huh?
I know. In the blood.
And I might make a dessert. So that's my two things. I don't think we bought anything that we can barbecue, but we'll just, you know, because we're not going out to the store just to get something specific. We've been going to the store like once every week and a half because it's too much. You know, well, Bob's been doing it. He's there for a long time, and then when he comes back, there's a whole long cleaning process that goes on. So, yeah. Anyway. So what have you been up to lately, Nettie?
Are you seriously going back to that question?
Well, you said you had a hot guy in there, and he gave you a massage.
Yeah, tall, dark, and handsome. He would put my massage oil on and just out by the ocean. And he just
let you go to sleep, right? After he gave you the massage? It was nice, relaxing.
Sure, this is the Family Channel, right?
Oh, stop it. I meant, you know when you go and get a massage and you're all nice and relaxed afterward and they're like, okay, get up, it's time to go.
Oh, I hate that.
And your body doesn't want to move at all.
You're like, can I just sleep here? Do you have
You're
a
like,
client?
just roll me out into the driveway or something. Just leave me out there. So I'm ready to go. I only had a massage once, but I was like, what are you saying? Time to get up. What are you talking about?
And they turn the lights up and you're like, no.
Like, what?
What are the questions you were gonna do?
Oh yeah. So like I was looking up different questions for people to ask, and the only ones that didn't sound stupid were these ones on this guy website. Well, the first question, 7 best questions to ask your friends. Okay. What emotion do you experience the most? Emotion.
Love. I think love.
I think is stress an emotion? Because I've been experiencing that a lot lately. I don't know if that's an emotion or not.
Yeah, maybe love's not either, but joy, happiness, sadness, fear, I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know how to answer that either.
Okay, go on.
Okay. What embarrasses you the most in front of other people?
What?
Or should I say, who embarrasses you? Do you remember someone who used to embarrass us in front of other people?
I remember more than one person.
Okay. So what embarrasses you the most in front of other people?
I don't know. I'm pretty, I don't get too, I guess if I did something, like if I slipped and fell or something. Hold on.
Hey, you disappeared. That's embarrassing.
What?
I said, that's embarrassing. I'm just kidding.
Yeah. What about you?
So for me, it's if I accidentally insult somebody, which happens. It's like if something, so say I go to visit, this has happened, okay? Say I go to visit somebody, they're sick, they're in the hospital. So in my mind, I'm thinking, this is what's going on with them. Inevitably, unavoidably, I will blurt out something that jokes about that. And I don't mean to. It just happens. I think somewhere in the back of my brain, I think, oh, if I make light of this situation, it'll make them feel better. And then afterwards, I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe I said that. Like, say somebody had all their teeth removed. I would say something like, well, oh my God, you're going to save so much money on toothpaste. I would say something like that. And then it would just come out without me thinking.
Oh my God.
I'm giving you that example because I've said much worse things than that. I will tell you later. But
I know. I do know.
I try. I like try to get in my brain beforehand and say, watch what you say. You know you're going to say the wrong thing.
Maybe you should skip visiting people.
I always feel like I make people feel better when I go see them, but maybe I don't. Okay, what do you love about yourself most?
I'm trying to narrow it down to one thing.
Oh my goodness.
What? I love myself. I think that's a good thing. I love my, you know, a lot of people don't like this about me, but I love this about me. I love my ability to see all sides, and that even includes when I do, you know, it may not be right away, I'm quite stubborn, but it even includes when I do something that's, you know, not so sweet, I can always come back around to it and see it. I like the way I can see, you know, past the actual, I'm open-minded. I like that I'm open-minded. How's that?
That's
yeah.
good.
How about, huh?
I said, that's good. I like that. About me, I like that I can entertain myself.
That is awesome, right?
It is.
Especially right now.
My youngest son's the same way. He can entertain himself. And my oldest son.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Bobby. Everybody knows Bobby. I always say that. Huh?
Yeah. That's an important quality.
I always say that if I was in solitary confinement, when they open up, they'd probably find I'd have different games all over the place that I wrote, and I'd be in there laughing. They'd think I was insane.
Yeah.
I don't know what to tell you. It could be an insanity that I can entertain myself, but yes.
I don't think it's insanity. Of course, I do the same thing.
Who has influenced you the most? Hey, Sonny.
That's a really hard question.
I know, because there's a lot of people that have influenced me, at least. We can pick 3 people if you want. How about that?
I think it should. Yeah, but who influenced you the most? Is it not you? Who's always been there than me? I've influenced myself. Okay.
Oh, I thought you meant that I've influenced you the most.
No, I meant yourself. But who's influenced me? I don't know. I don't even know how to answer that. I don't even know if I could pick 3 people and say.
Oh, I already have an answer. I know the answer. Well,
Tell me your answer.
I have 3 answers. Well, number 1, I would say my dad, and that's because, well, you know, we had a difficult childhood all around. Both parents, and our dad was an alcoholic. And when he went through the 12-step program, he did the amends for us where he apologized to us. And it was the first time somebody said to me, I was a child at the time, I was a teenager. It was the first time somebody said to me, oh, I acknowledge your feelings and that you were hurt, and I'm sorry about that. And for us growing up, nobody cared. Nobody cared anything about you if you were a kid, remember? It was seen and not heard, suck it up, go outside, I don't want to see you till dinner time, I don't want to see you till the lights go out outside, you know. So that's number 1. Number 2, I would say Bob, because, I don't know.
He's put up with you all these years.
He's put up with me all these years, but he loves me and got me to a point where I could feel like I could be accepting of love, that I'm deserving of love. And my children, I feel like I learned stuff from my children. Sometimes I don't. Most of the times I do not learn anything from my children.
Except if they get on my darn nerves.
Yeah, sometimes they get on my nerves, but occasionally they have an influence over me. They make me see the world in a different way, you know? So.
Aww.
Don't cry, Nettie.
I'm not gonna cry. Stop.
Oh, you want another one?
Sure.
This is a good one.
Uh-oh.
What has been your best moment this year so far?
Oh God. Let's see. Best moment. I don't believe I can answer that on.
Oh my goodness.
So you
it's something personal? Can you pick something else?
Okay. My best moment. This year has been
trying.
Very trying.
Can you hear the dog drinking water?
Yes.
Okay.
I would say, it would be my birthday. I would have to give it the whole day. Andrea was so sweet, and everybody was so sweet. My 2 closest friends called and sang to me, and it was, and you did too.
I sang to you every year.
And there were other things, but yeah, I think, my birthday. How about you?
say, I think it was Mother's Day, and I don't remember. I have such bad memory problems, Nettie. I don't remember what I liked about it that day, but I felt like I had a really good day.
Oh, cool.
Mother's Day.
Yeah,
Well,
you know what? Mother's Day is a great day for me every year. I love Mother's Day. Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I had good. Bob made me burritos. So.
Yes. Yeah, I remember. Andrew made me Salisbury steak.
Oh yeah. Did he make it homemade?
No. But he did make me a homemade breakfast. He made an egg burrito, egg tacos, whatever.
Oh yeah. Breakfast burritos.
Breakfast burrito. There you go. Breakfast burritos. Those were good. Yep.
So let's see. Is there another question? Yeah, there's 2 more questions. Well, there's more, but oh my God, this one's weird. I looked ahead and I found this weird one.
Okay.
If you had the option of adopting a baby fox or a baby koala, which one would you choose?
A fox.
I wouldn't get either.
But why is that a question?
I don't know. It says because sometimes the best way to start a conversation is with a silly question that will catch your friend off guard. I've got a question for you. This is a question I hate.
Hold on, though. Nothing you say to me is going to catch me off guard, so that will not work. But go on. What's your question? The
question that I hear people ask a lot that I hate is, if you were a crayon, what color would you be? I always say I would not be a crayon.
I
know. There's no situation in which I would be a crayon.
If you were ice cream, what flavor would you be? I mean, what kind of questions are these?
It's ridiculous to me. I guess it's interesting to some people, but to me it's like, yeah, I'm not planning to be ice cream. Are you asking if I'm nutty or chocolatey? I don't know what you mean, but whatever. So what would you like to change about yourself?
That I'm stuck in my house. That's what I would like to change about myself. How about you?
I don't know. I've been trying to learn more languages, but then I guess to be more motivated to do stuff. But then I think, why put the pressure on myself? How can I be more motivated without pressuring myself? So what motivates you to get up every morning?
Well, love. I love life.
I know what really motivates you. There's a dog that needs to go to the bathroom.
There's that. Yes, that does motivate me. That is true. I do. It's funny because, you know, I have to set my alarm. I can't linger in bed. Yeah. I have a disabled dog. You know, because people will be like, well, you can just sleep in. No, I can't. I can't just sleep in because you want to talk to me at 2 a.m. No, I can't. I have to get up. Yeah.
Well, if you could be anything. Oh, I didn't say what gets me up in the morning. Well, usually I get hungry or I want coffee. Usually it's that I have to get up and feed the dogs and put them out. But since Bob's been working from home, he gets up earlier than I do, and he feeds the dogs and puts them out when he first gets up.
You're gonna miss that when he goes back.
Yeah, so that's not foremost on my mind, but then I start getting hungry or I smell coffee and I'm like, oh, that coffee could be for me. I could be having coffee right now. What do you... Here's a good question, Nettie. What do you hope to achieve by age 50?
I don't even know what to say to that.
I know, right?
I've already achieved everything I hope to achieve by
That's
age.
the right answer. I had the same answer.
But I'm not 50 yet, so. Oh my.
Who are your top 3 real life heroes?
Oh boy. Spider-Man.
That's not a real life hero. We all know about your feelings for Spider-Man.
Okay. Real life heroes. I don't.
You don't look up to anybody, do you?
I don't put people on pedestals.
Well, I mean, they did something that you think is a great achievement, maybe?
Okay. Well, I thought Dad did some great achievements. I think I've done a lot of great achievements. I think you've done a lot of great achievements. Everyone I know, everyone that's close to me, of course I would see them as a hero because that's kind of what I spend my time with, and people who, I mean, but we are heroic. Look at all the stuff we've overcome, you know?
Yeah, but we'll never discuss that stuff. I've thought about that before. Like, do you tell people the stuff that you've overcome? Does that bring people down, or is it uplifting? You know what I mean? Like, does it?
It depends on how you present it, because I do the self-empowerment classes, and before I start the class, I talk about that because I feel like, because in this case, you're going to pay for a class that I'm giving to you. You need to know that I did this stuff too. You know, I'm not just throwing stuff at you and expecting you to do all this work that I didn't do, that I had this glossy life. Yeah. And it depends on the situation, you know, when you do certain things, there's groups that want to know about that, or that it would help them, you know what I mean? But at some point, it's just bragging and boasting. So, I mean, it's not important to, there are lots of people.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
Sometimes I think about writing something about stuff that happened in my life and how I've overcome and changed. Sometimes I think that would help people who have gone through similar things. And other times I think if some people read it, that's all they would be able to think about. Like, it would be very upsetting to them. You know what I mean? Or would it label the person as a victim or something like this? You know, some kind of things you don't.
No, because you're showing that you don't have to stand within the label of victim. When you overcome something and you walk out of it and it doesn't keep occurring in your life because you pulled yourself out of the victim mentality, right?
Yeah.
So you're showing people that, you know, there's nothing wrong with you if you fell into this, but you can move yourself past this and out of this. It's a strength thing to me. And you can't help how other people view what they hear or read about you. Who cares? Because they're gonna see it from their own point of reference. People are always gonna see you or what you said from their own point of reference, you know?
That's true.
So, yeah.
I don't answer this one because I can't answer it on video, but what's the weirdest thing you've ever done on a date?
Yeah, really?
Yeah, I can't answer that. I'm sorry.
I think we did enough questions. These questions are getting weird.
Yeah, like, what's the worst lie you ever told? Like, why would you tell anybody these things?
Yeah.
This one is the only one that sounds like it's a question for a guy. The real last time you washed your jeans.
That is a guy question, right?
What animal most closely resembles your eating style? I have no idea. Probably the animal that wants to be a crayon.
Probably the animal that wants to be the same color crayon that you might want to be. Ooh.
Have you ever sent someone a text that you didn't mean to? I know the answer for you.
Oh my God. Yes, and it has caused me considerable issues. I will tell you. Yes.
Were you drinking at the time? Because I've had to take your phone away.
No. Well, it has happened at those times. I don't drink anymore. And I've done it in the recent past. And it's like, oh my God, you can't take it back. You can't pull it back. And you're like, it's out there. It's out there now. I'm so screwed. It's so over. Like, I don't want other people to know what I just sent to someone that's, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, yeah.
I feel lucky because I don't write, I mean, I write weird stuff in texts, but I don't write sexually explicit stuff. And I accidentally wrote something to Bob and sent it to Bobby. And I was so glad that I don't say, I was like, it was something like, hey, good looking, what's up, or something like that, which means something, but it's not me saying explicit things, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then right after I saw that I sent it to Bobby, I was like, oops, I meant to send that to Dad. And he's like, yeah, I guess so. Well, could you imagine if I actually wrote stuff like, but I think that people that write stuff like that don't talk like that, but I will, things will come out of my mouth that you don't, things I don't say on these videos.
I know. I do know that. You're worse than me. People think I'm so bad. Y'all should, yeah. Y'all should.
And if I drink something, Bob gets tired of hearing the stuff I say when I drink. He's like, I just want you to fall asleep. You feel like you said some really weird things. I'll be like, what? You don't want to know?
Yep.
But see, this is where some good advice has helped me in my life. Is that I always hate telling people that this is when people say, what's the best advice you ever got in your life? See, I don't mind saying these weird things towards the end of the video because only certain people will stay till the end of the video. So that's when I usually say the weirdest things. But when somebody says, what's the best piece of advice you've ever received in your life? This is the best piece of advice I've ever received. I don't tell people this normally because it reveals a lot about me, but it is, don't write what you can say, don't say what you can whisper, and don't whisper what you cannot. And that's because there's less of a record, right? And it goes the other way too. Like if you want something recorded, you make sure it's written down. You make sure it's, that advice has helped me more than anything else I can tell you right now. That'll get you through life, kids. Especially in this day and age.
We should wrap it up with that.
I know, right? But, all right, we should wrap this up, but I hope you enjoy your Memorial Day weekend if you're in the US, or your regular weekend if you're anywhere else. It's a lovely weekend. Hopefully if it doesn't rain, right?
It's supposed to rain here. I hope you all enjoy your weekend. Have fun, barbecue, decorate, graves,
there you go.
Whatever it is.
We'll talk to you soon. Bye.
Bye. Mwah. We love you.
Eddie loves you. Let me stop the recording. Hold on. I should leave this part in sometime. You trying to figure out where. Okay.
I think it's hilarious. You should leave it in.
Oh, the recording's up there.